It is so lovely to be here all, with you all in person. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yael. I'm on the marketing team here at Monday. I'm joined with Eran and Roy, our CEOs and co-founders. Welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we'll get started. Just many of you may not know, it's been 10 years since monday.com was founded. So would love to hear from you guys, how's the mission of the company changed?
First off, we can say it's like an amazing venue, and like I'm so excited to be here.
Amazing.
Like the team did an amazing job, and it's crazy.
It's super cool. I love the cement everywhere.
Place.
Cool. So a little bit of maybe background about how we started the company and what was the idea behind it. So first of all, personally, both Roy and myself are software developers. This is what we do from a very young age. And we both had startups prior to Monday and worked in different tech companies. And I feel that we both use different software in our history, anywhere from using software to manage work, manage sales pipelines, CRM, and so on. And we always felt that when you use a software, usually when you encounter a problem, when you feel the software is not good enough or not doing its job, it's not an issue with the software itself. But what we found is that the way software was built for many years was in a very kind of rigid, non-flexible way. And being developers, both of us, we knew that we had this kind of superpower where we can build our own tools or customize the tools that we've used. And the idea behind Monday was to build something and kind of give this superpower of making flexible software to everybody, right? Not just the software developer or somebody that have like very deep technical skills, but the idea was to kind of democratize and allow people to build their own software. And if you think about it, the way people use Monday is in so many different ways. Everybody's using it differently. And the whole idea was to really, leverage what you know, the way you work, and to make a software that's specific to you. So we're all kind of software developers now. We all can customize. We all have this superpower. And I think this kind of built, use cases and open up Monday to different industries that we never felt was possible when we started this journey.
Yeah, and I think that this is exactly what we want to continue. I think that's like what drives us all the time is like, how do we push this forward at scale, giving people more power to do things, what they want, how they want it, and it's still like very much exciting right now with where we're at as a platform as it was in the beginning.
It's amazing to see how the use cases are just so varied, and it's what people do with Monday is just out of this world. Given that, still reflective, what are you guys most proud of over the past 10 years?
Yeah, so, I can say the product and the progress and all that stuff, but I think the type of company we built, the people behind it and the atmosphere with the team and the fact that we could scale the culture and really everyone in the company cares about what we do, and they want to succeed and push forward together. And I think that's something we put a lot of emphasis on, and I'm really proud of that. That's
yeah, maybe I'll pick something that's a bit more recent. So basically before we went public about a year and a half ago. We've made a decision to build a nonprofit entity as part of Monday. It's called the Digital Lift, which basically the purpose was to do what we do for businesses, meaning bridging the digital gap, helping people and companies become more efficient, just to make all this accessible for nonprofits, sponsor that, not just the cost of software, but also buy IT equipment and so on. So I don't think a lot of people know this, but basically we've decided to take 10% of the company equity and donate that for that purpose.
At the time it was a few billions.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit less.
Things have changed a little.
Yeah, you can only imagine that for me myself, it was was something we try to push, but going back to our investors who been with us in this journey and asked like a minute before you go public, to dilute everybody. It wasn't easy, but I will give them credit that everybody agreed to that, and we managed to do that before the IPO, and I'm personally super proud of that.
Yeah, it's incredible to see what people are able to accomplish around the world with Digital Lift. Looking back, so we talked a little bit about the past. Now, today, what are some of the work trends you guys are seeing amongst current customers?
Yeah, so I think like one big thing is still digitization. Is like a lot of the work is not being digitized. It's not being followed up on. It's not becoming smart. And I think our customers and generally everyone understands that this is the way to be more efficient, more smart, and actually concentrate on the work itself. And I think what you can do with a platform like Monday, and I think even the future of software now is going towards that direction, is having software sip into everywhere, that you can cover the white space if you like. It's not only for like really well-defined problems everyone understands. It's like if you need something, you can just do it, but then it also connects to what other people are doing. It's not like just in the computer, it's smart and connected. And I think so that is a major trend happening, like one of them that keep happening like through tough times and good times and whatever, because it's the future.
Yeah, I think another trend that we've seen in the past 2.5 years was definitely kind of hybrid environment of people working from home, partly working from the office. And part of that is also going through that digital transformation. I think that kind of accelerated a lot of the trends we already saw. But definitely it's a big thing that companies are now deal with. I would say another thing that I see this as two big trends. One, the way people buy software have changed. I think in the past, it was mostly kind of a top-down decision where the company, CEO, COO, CTO would make a decision about software, and then everybody in the organization had to adopt it, sometimes unsuccessfully. And I think in the last few years, you see a huge change where people buy software from the bottom up. So people, see software they like in any level in the organization, they can buy software, and then it scales kind of more organically. I think this is a big part of how we built Monday, so people can adopt it quickly and scale organically. And I think it just creates a more kind of healthy way of adopting software, of real usage, real value, as opposed to forcing everybody to work in a very specific way.
Yeah, and another recent trend that we're starting to see is that there was from what Eran said, there was a lot of apps being used, like a proliferation of apps, and they created silos. So we understand that everyone needs to get a lot of different tools, but work has become a bit more disconnected in many areas. And so what we are going to see now, and we're starting to hear it, and that's exactly our roadmap, is the fact that anyone can do anything, but it's still very well connected. You can still connect information across the organization, and I think CIOs are going to start wanting this. Do whatever you want, but have it be connected, have it be formalized across the organization, that I can make sense of it and create a unified workflow, and not just have silos of people creating information that is not connected.
I think we can all look forward to the day that our CIO says, do whatever you want, right? And, the future is coming. So, as you guys have talked about just now and alluded to, that there's a lot of instability in the macroeconomic environment. So given that, what kind of strategy shifts are you seeing amongst our current customers and, as those resources get more strained or more limited?
Yes, so just to kind of repeat what Rory said, but I think a lot of companies are looking now into reducing cost. Part of it, we see this mostly in the tech industry, downsizing or freezing hiring, but I think a lot of companies are going through a phase now where they're going through their entire software stack and kind of reviewing again, what do we need to use? Do we need all those software? And I think, we've seen many different kinds of, software being used across organization, which created a lot of information silos. A lot of data was spread across. And I think we're going to go into an era now where I call it like the era of consolidation, where people try to pick a few software vendors to build the mass usage of the organization. And I feel Monday is in the perfect position to do that because the way the platform is built, super flexible, you can do many things with it. And we see this more and more with our customers. Customers have been using Monday for like 4 or 5 use cases and now adding more use cases from HR, from marketing. So I think this is a very good trend and will create a good connection between the different parts of the organization.
Amazing. So change is constant. Change, death, and taxes, I think it goes. So how is Monday well suited to help companies adapt to change? What do you guys think is unique about Monday in that way?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll take it. You want water? Yeah, so definitely flexibility, big one. Like we said, you can use that. I think Monday is adapted for changes. I think we all go through a lot of changes right now. People adapt to the new situation, the new economy, new customer demand, and Monday is suited for that because you can change everything on the go. You don't have to work in the same way you used to work, but you can change everything that you're already doing. And a big part of our company DNA is transparency. I think a few people here I met now have said that they've been in our office in Tel Aviv and New York, and maybe here in London as well. But I think what's unique about our office, apart from the people and the energy, is we have screens across the walls with data and graphs. And we share everything in the company from day one. All the revenue numbers, customer counts, conversion, signups, whatever it is, financial data. And our core belief is that transparency is key to success. And I feel that companies, as a trend, are becoming more and more transparent to some extent. And it's a very good trend because it just connects everybody in the organization and prevent information silos from one another. And I think Monday can be really helpful with allowing information sharing across the organization.
And obviously the fact that you can build anything you want with it. So like you mentioned Digital Lift, so we have like one initiative which is emergency response. We have a team flying around the world helping crisis situations. And they build like in like 2 days like complete solutions and train hundreds of people. And for me it's like the best example for, how you can really take something you want to manage and completely do it on Monday, like so quickly. And like, I think this is what we need to do sometimes in companies, like adapt quickly, change stuff like, hey, let's try that out. And so I think in these times, it's going to be something that really helps customers.
For sure. I think our software needs to reflect kind of how quickly we need to change and adapt every day. So we have a growing enterprise customer base. So I'd love to hear from you guys how we're adapting the platform to meet those larger companies' needs.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. So in the last 3 years, I would say we put a lot of focus in the company in larger customers and enterprise customers. I would say now more than half of our resources in terms of R&D and product are working to ensure that larger companies can use Monday, extend the use cases, and the scale and performance. I would say that I feel that customers really took it to the limit to some extent. Build boards that connected to multiple boards, and then on top of that you have a dashboard, you have a view, you have a llama farm, whatever it is, but people really took the system to its limits. And I feel that a lot of people over time, as they extend the usage, hit a little bit of performance issues and scalability issues. And we took this really seriously as a company, and we have something very exciting that we want to announce today here in this conference, a project that we've been working on in the past year, and it's called MondayDB. So it's Monday database. I'm very excited about this, so I'm going to clap for myself and all. I want to explain what it is before we go into the technical stuff, but basically we've rewritten the entire engine of the company, the way we store data, and the result of that will be that you can scale your data, the data will be like, again, 1000x, performance will be significantly better, and you'll be able to create dashboards and integrations and automations across, many, many more dozens of boards and views. And it's going to be a huge game changer in how you can use Monday and how you can scale with it.
Super exciting.
So for us, like when we wanted to enable apps to be built on top of Monday, to be so flexible and like really give everyone the power, we had to reinvent how we look at data and the database itself. And we've done it already. That's what Monday allows, but this is like the next level of it. So if we go through the layers, like a little bit. So the bottom layer is exactly what Eran said. It's a schemaless database. It's like flexible, and it's what you see reflected on the board. Like it's also important to note, like MondayDB is an infrastructure, it's behind. It's not a product you can buy. It's like underlaying our work OS. So it's super flexible, and now will be all the time, will increase the scalability of that platform to support like ultimately like the vision, any number of rows you'd like. The second layer, and that's very unique, is the data management layer, meaning that our data is not only like dumb data sitting in the database, it has like layers of business knowledge inside it, like permissions or backups or any other thing we'd like to add on it. So imagine you create a query across all the database, across all the accounts, different products, anything. And on each row, we can have a different set of permissions. And so that information would not pass. So that's like something very unique, and we had to architect it to the scale in a completely different way. And then the top layer would be the integrations and automations. So on every piece of information, we would trigger an event that if you want to do something about it, either sync it to a different app or create an event on it, like some sort of automation that you would use inside the platform. So to do all that with millions of rows and at scale over time required like a massive engineering feat and created like the MondayDB team and effort, and we look forward for this to be like something super dramatic within the infrastructure of our work OS.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for this. I think it's going to be a huge game changer. And I would say just one last thing, because we're going to cover all of this in the product session later on. But you can think to yourself, what's so unique about scaling a database like this, and why are we so excited about this? This is, I don't know, like if it's across the world, like first time ever unique database that we created, because you build your own databases, you control your own boards, your own views, your own dashboard, and to build something like that can scale to that extent is a really phenomenal achievement, and just want to say thank you for the amazing team working so hard behind us in the past year.
Just about like when is it going to be out? It's like it's going to be released really gradually over the next year, because we want to test stuff and like really make it solid. So. Super
exciting to hear about that massive upgrade to the Work OS system. Very cool. So, we've been a public company for a year and a half. What's changed?
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a journey, I would say. We went public a year and a half ago. It's been, a very exciting milestone for the company, but definitely doesn't feel like the end goal. To some extent, we're just getting started scaling the company. For us, I think that really put a lot of focus and emphasis on creating a vision and creating like a very kind of clear roadmap and for the product itself. I would say that something that we get a lot from public market investors is that they really understand the vision behind Monday, and what they kind of feedback back to us is they really feel this is one of the biggest opportunities in the software market today, because we're one of the only tools that so horizontal and can really kind of be the backbone of the future of work. Because if you think about it, the only tools that currently are being used across almost any company is email and maybe kind of more kind of Office, PowerPoint, Word documents. I feel Monday really has the opportunity to become this kind of next level software, but being used across many industries and many information workers. So I think that investors understand this, and we're very excited about kind of fulfilling this vision. I was saying one last thing maybe about that. A lot of investors are, when they look at companies, looking for stability and seeing that. And I'm happy to say that Monday has been always very efficient as a company, being cash flow positive, and always measuring everything that we do, relying a lot on data. So we're happy to continue and scale. I think this is an opportunity for us. People say that the best companies are being forged and made in times of recessions, and I feel it's an opportunity for us to prove ourselves and scale even more.
Amazing. So we're out of time. I can see the minus on the screen. So just to quickly wrap up, what's next for monday.com?
Yeah, so I think we're super excited about a lot of things. Like many of them has to do with larger customers and what they do with our platform and like the extent that they can use it to scale within the organization and rely more on us. Another big thing for us, and it touches on everyone, is the scale and speed and the things we talked about with MondayDB, and also opening up the platform, allowing others to build on top of us, building a massive marketplace and like enabling people to build more native. Even we're like probably one of the most open platforms out there ever, and like we're going to do that even more and allow everyone to build things that feel super native on the platform.
Yeah, I think that's mostly it. I would say that I'm personally excited about new Workers products, specifically the CRM. We get a lot of very positive feedback. People are excited about this, and we're also committed to continue working and improving that product over time. And I feel that there's more products to come going forward, so definitely very excited for that.
Yeah, and throughout the day, I think we'll hear a lot about like what's next. So
awesome. Well, Ro'i, Eran, thank you so much for joining us on the stage today. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roy and Eran. We all appreciate the transparency that you give us into our company and into the future of the industry that we're in. Next, we have a further look behind the curtain, and we have some really exciting announcements for how we're scaling monday.com in 2023. So please join me in welcoming